Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business, and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. Hi there, and welcome to episode 91 of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. In the last episode, we talked all about goals versus to-dos and which one you should be focusing on. If you feel like you're not gaining traction and you're not seeing the results you want, it could be that there was something missing from your to-do list, and that is your goals. And in that episode, I broke down how your to-do list could actually be slowing you down if you are just focusing on your daily tasks rather than actually looking at what your goals are first and then reverse engineering it. But what if it isn't your to-do list that's the problem? What if it is actually that your goals are out of alignment? And the reason that you're not making progress is actually because you are working on goals that aren't in alignment with your vision for what you want from your business and what fits and matches you and your personality. That is what we're going to be diving into today. Take a moment to think about your goals, all of the things that you are working on in your business. How are you feeling about all of those right now? Do you feel like that you are following all of the advice, doing what you're supposed to do, but something is feeling off? Maybe your offers and your services or your products, they don't feel like you. Are you finding yourself clinging to goals just because you've set them, that you committed to them, even though they feel heavy? Maybe you've lost sight of what is working or even to what to do in your business, and everything is starting to feel like a chore. And that you're tired, exhausted, frustrated, overwhelmed, and feel like you're getting close to burnout, but you still want your business to work. You still want to be fully booked. If you've said yes to any of those, you are not alone, and it is probably because your goals are out of alignment. But don't worry, I have got you because we are going to change all of that today. I'm going to share with you how to set goals that feel aligned and how to let go of the ones that don't so that you can see the success that you deserve in your business. Before we dive into the strategy that I share with all of my clients and that I personally use to help me make sure that my goals are in alignment, let's quickly talk about the danger of clinging onto the wrong goals. I know what it's like when we set a goal for ourselves and we think we've committed to it, we must do this, we're months down the line, but things aren't working. It doesn't feel right. We know it doesn't feel right, but it can be hard to let go of it. It can be hard to walk away and to then beat ourselves up that we're failing, that we can't do it, we haven't got what it takes, and all of that stuff. But it's okay to walk away from goals. It's okay to let go of the goals that aren't serving us. And it's okay to let go of the goals that aren't in alignment of what we are doing in our businesses and where we want to be. Because when we let go of them and we realign and we get back in touch with what's right for ourselves, that's when we start moving forward. I've had several times in my business where I thought I was doing all of the things and I had offers and services and products and everything, but they just didn't feel right. They didn't feel aligned and they drained me. And then I found it hard to let go of the goals too. And it made my business feel like a chore. And every time I got to that point and I looked at what was going on, it was because my goals were out of alignment. And when I started to let go of what wasn't aligned, to give myself permission to let them go, to walk away, and to focus on what felt good and what felt right, that is when everything changed for me and my business. And so if you're feeling a little bit like this right now, like I said, I've got you, and I'm going to share a few things today that you can do to help you start creating goals that feel aligned and let go of the ones that don't. So first, let's talk about the danger of clinging onto the wrong goals. Why should we let go of goals that aren't serving us? And how are they harming us in our business? When we say yes to goals that aren't in alignment and that don't feel right, we are saying yes out of obligation or because we think we should be doing it rather than what feels aligned. If you've ever got into that trap of where you purchased a course or a program or work with a mentor and they've told you that you should be doing something and you're following it to the letter and you're creating products and services because that's what the next module is telling you that you should be doing, I have been there too. And that was one of the things that would trip me up over and over is that I would be creating all the things thinking that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was doing it out of obligation rather than what felt aligned. Clinging on to the wrong goals can make you busy but not productive. It leaves you in a point where you are stuck in motion, but you are never gaining momentum because you're spinning your wheels, working on something that doesn't feel right, doing all of the things, but it's not actually getting you to where you want to be because it's out of alignment. It leaves you feeling stuck in a loop of obligation and having that guilt trip of I'm supposed to want this or I've invested so much time, money, etc. in this. Who am I now to say that I can't do this or that I don't want to do this and that it doesn't feel right? Again, that's one that I was really stuck in, mostly with courses and programs that I signed up for, was that I was in that loop of obligation. I'd invested the money into it, I'd invested the time into it, and here I was months down the line and it didn't feel right. But I'd committed to it, so I should be doing it. But then I would feel guilty. It was a vicious cycle. And then when things aren't working, you start to blame yourself, and that causes self doubt and it undermines your confidence. Because if things aren't in alignment and they're not right for you, or they're not in alignment with your vision and your goals of what you really want for your business in the bigger picture, things aren't going to work. You're going to find it hard to make it work. And that in turn causes self doubt. It causes you to second guess yourself, to judge everything you're doing, to not entrust your intuition. And as a result, that dents and knocks your confidence. A couple of years ago, when I hit a real low in my business where I wanted to burn it to the ground, to walk away, to ditch everything and chuck it all in, and I started looking at really hard at what it was, I realized that it was and why I wasn't feeling so confident anymore. I realized that actually it was the things that I was working on were out of alignment, and I had lost touch of what I really wanted and what felt right for me in alignment with what I wanted for my business. And that had caused me to lose my confidence, which in turn creates your business to become a chore instead of a passion. Instead of getting up every morning, can't wait to work on it, starting this business because you have something that you're passionate about, it becomes a chore and hard work, and it feels like a slog, and you lose all of your passion for it. Another danger of clinging on to the wrong goals is that it becomes harder for you to spot and say yes to goals and opportunities that do feel aligned because you're spending all your time working on the ones that aren't, and you've lost track of your own intuition and you've lost sight of what's really right for you and you're second guessing yourself. You find it harder to actually see when opportunities that do come your way that are aligned, and you find it hard to spot those and say yes to them. And then all of that pushing towards something that doesn't feel right and the time and energy you're investing, it leads to frustration, overwhelm, and burnout. Paints a pretty grim picture, doesn't it? I know, I get it because I have been there. But thankfully, there are things that you can do to turn it around and ways to bring in goals that are aligned. And I'm going to share my strategy for that in a moment. But I just wanted to share with you first the danger of clinging on to the wrong goals. Because, like I said, that when we take on them and we set them, it's easy to think that we've committed to this, we've got to keep going, and we keep pushing. That saying yes out of obligation because we think that we should, rather than what feels aligned. And then later on down the line, it's hard to let go because we're stuck in that loop of we're supposed to want it and we've invested all the time and money. And it makes it hard to walk away because it then makes us feel like we're failing and we're giving up. But actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. There's actually nothing more beneficial you can do for you and your business than let go of the goals that aren't serving you so that you can then make way for the things that do. Like I said, once I started working on this and I let go of the ones that weren't serving me, everything changed in my business. And when you let go of the goals that aren't serving you, you create more space, both literally, mentally, and emotionally too. You free up yourself from that pressure of constantly working on something that you don't enjoy, something that isn't aligned. And you have more space in your calendar to work on the things that are because you've let go of the things that aren't aligned. Because those goals that aren't aligned have gone now, your motivation and your momentum is restored. You get to work on things that are aligned, that feel exciting, that feel like you, that are going to take you to where you really want to be in your business instead of working on things that you think you're supposed to do out of obligation. It means that your business goes from being a chore back to being a creative expression of your passion and your purpose. You started your business for a reason. You didn't want it to become a chore and something that you hate and a beast that you'd created. Let go of the things that aren't in alignment with you, and you will regain your creative passions, and everything will come lighter and easier. Everything in your business will feel lighter and easier again. You'll find that you'll regain your confidence too. You start to trust yourself again, and that intuition comes back. You know deep down what feels aligned and what is right for you in your business. And when you start focusing on the things that are aligned, you are showing yourself that you trust yourself, that you have got your back, that you can do this, that you've got the skills that it takes, that you've got the determination, that you have got the passion, and all of that fuels and you regain your confidence. And then you start creating things and offering things in your business and setting goals in your business that are aligned. And that lifts you up and lights you up. And all of your dream clients, all of your tribe and your community, they can see that. And people are drawn to you naturally because you are doing the things that are in alignment with you. And as a result, doors open to aligned opportunities that you could not see before. I cannot tell you the number of amazing opportunities that have come my way since me getting in touch with what is in alignment for me and my business, what lifts me up, what lights me up, how I want to do things, what products and services and offers I want to create and share. I don't have to pitch anymore for being on other people's podcasts or to do a guest speaking slot or to do an in-person network guest speaking slot, to take part in bundles and summits. I haven't pitched for a single one for 2 years. But if you look on my socials, I am actively participating in them. And that's because the doors are opening to aligned opportunities that are making their way to me, that are in alignment, that I would never have been able to see before because I'm working on goals that are in alignment. I'm doing things that are in alignment in my business. It really changes everything. So if you're thinking about your goals right now, and I can guarantee you that there are probably one or two that have popped up that you're thinking that you are working on, but they're not really you. They're not really feeling like you. Maybe you can't remember why you'd set them. Maybe you're just fed up with them and they're just not you anymore. Because that's the thing. Sometimes when we start working on our goals, they do feel right. But as time goes on, we change, the things we want and do in our business changes. And it may mean that that goal no longer resonates. If you're feeling like any of this right now, take these advantages of what happens when you do let go of the goals that aren't serving you, of what you can experience, and use this as encouragement that it is okay to let goals go. If your goals are feeling heavy right now, and there's some there that you think are no longer in alignment with you, think back a moment about those dangers that I've just shared and the things that you're going through as a result of working on goals that aren't in alignment with you. And then the amazing things that can happen: motivation and momentum being restored, more space for mentally and emotionally, strengthened intuition and self trust, regaining your confidence, your business feeling lighter and easier, and your business going back from being a chore back to finding your passion again. And those incredible opportunities coming your way by working on things that are in alignment. Use that as fuel to let you know that it is okay to let go of the goals that are no longer serving you. So, how do we actually make this happen? How do we make sure that we are only working on goals that are in alignment with us, that we are only saying yes to any opportunities that come away that are in alignment? We put our goals to the unapologetic test. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you'll know that the unapologetic test is something that I use all of the time. It's something that I always take my clients through whenever we're focusing and working on something, or whenever a new opportunity comes their way. We put everything to the unapologetic test. Just because a coach, a mentor, or someone that you follow on Instagram tells you that you should be doing something, if it doesn't feel aligned, you don't have to do it. And it's the same for your goals too. Think about your goals at the moment right now. Ask yourself, does your goal feel aligned with who you are and what you want for your business right now? Are you doing it to prove something because you think that you should, or because it truly matters? If that goal doesn't feel aligned, what would feel lighter, simpler, and more you? Give yourself the permission to dig deep into your goals, to sit there with a journal and pen and map all of those goals down, list them down that you are working on right now, all of the things that you have set yourself in your business. How do you feel about them? Are they in alignment? Do they lift you up? Do they make you excited? Or do they drain you and make you go, ugh, every time you open up your PC? Every time you think about your to-dos for tomorrow? Every time you think about what you need to work on this coming week? How are you feeling about your goals? And do they fit with your personality? Are they making you show up in a way that isn't right, that doesn't feel aligned? Because if they are, it's okay to let them go. Now, that might be scary and it might be feeling like you're pulling the rug out from underneath your feet. And then you're thinking, crap, none of these are aligned. What am I going to do? Don't despair. Don't get discouraged. Use this as a sign that it's time to start focusing on the things that are aligned. If you could do anything in your business, what would you do? If you could create any offer, any product, any service that really excites you and really lights you up, what would that be? Look at your goals and ask yourself whether you're doing it to prove something because you've committed to it and said yes to it, because you think you should, or because it truly matters. If it truly matters and it really does take you to where you want or your bigger vision for your business, great, keep doing it. But if it doesn't, it's okay to let it go. And so that's my message for you today, and my challenge for you today is to check in with your goals and look at and ask yourself whether they feel aligned. Don't make yourself work on goals just because of obligation, because you think that you should be, rather than them being more aligned to what you really want. Don't keep yourself stuck in a loop of obligation or guilt, thinking you're supposed to want this, you said yes to this, and you've invested time and money into it. It's okay to let it go if it's not really lifting you up and it's not going to get you to where you want to be. Remember, when you let go of the goals that don't serve you, you create more space, your business feels lighter, your motivation and momentum is restored. You're going to feel so much more confident. You're going to strengthen your intuition and self-trust, and doors are going to open to opportunities that are aligned that you would never have seen before. So spend a few moments this week putting your goals to the unapologetic test. Ask yourself if they feel aligned with who you are and what you want for your business right now. And if they don't, what would feel lighter, simpler, and more you? You are your business's greatest asset and its greatest superpower. And you know you and your business better than anybody else. Trust your intuition, do what's right for you, take those steps to get you where you want to be, and you will see the success that you deserve. That's it for today. I hope this has helped as a little bit of a dose of encouragement. Send me a DM on Instagram over at the Unapologetic Mompreneur and let me know. And if you want a little bit of help doing this, you don't have to do it alone. I am here for you. Come and book one of my breakthrough brews, and in 60 minutes, we can sit down together. We can look at all of your goals, and I will help you put them to the unapologetic test so that you can make sure that your goals are truly, truly aligned, and you can free yourself from the ones that aren't so that you can see the success you deserve. You've got this, Mama, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.